Imagine risking it all for love, or is it just for money? In the heart of New York City, our story follows Sarah, a successful but disillusioned marketing executive who makes an outrageous bet that will change her life forever. Frustrated with the dating scene and convinced that true love is a myth, Sarah wagers $1 million that she can marry a complete stranger and make the relationship work for an entire year. Little does she know that this impulsive decision will lead her on a roller coaster of emotions, testing her beliefs about love, trust, and the power of human connection. As Sarah navigates this unconventional journey, she discovered that sometimes the greatest risks bring the most unexpected rewards and the deepest betrayals. Sarah Thompson, 32, stood in her sleek Manhattan apartment, staring at her reflection in the mirror. Her perfectly tailored suit and immaculate makeup couldn't hide the emptiness in her eyes. "Another day, another dollar," she muttered, grabbing her designer bag. At the office, her colleague Jack burst in, excitement radiating from him. "Sarah, you won't believe this. Remember that crazy bet we discussed at happy hour?" Sarah's eyebrow arched. "The marry a stranger thing?" "Yeah, why?" Jack grinned, waving a document. "Well, Eccentric Millionaire Monthly wants to sponsor it. They're offering $1 million prize if you go through with it and stay married for a year." Sarah's world tilted. $1 million? For a year of her life? It was insane, but tempting. "There's a catch," Jack continued. "You have to let them film it for a reality show." Sarah's mind raced. She'd always been a calculated risk-taker, but this was beyond anything she'd considered. Yet, the potential payoff. "I'll do it," she heard herself say, shocking even herself. The next few weeks were a whirlwind. Contracts signed, lawyers consulted, and a string of potential strangers vetted by the show's producers. Sarah found herself standing at a lavish wedding venue, heart pounding, about to meet the man she'd marry. The doors opened, and in walked Michael Chun, a charming pediatrician with kind eyes and a disarming smile. As their eyes met, Sarah felt an unexpected flutter in her chest. Maybe, just maybe, this crazy bet could lead to something real. The whirlwind wedding ceremony passed in a blur of flowers, champagne, and camera flashes. Sarah found herself saying, "I do," to Michael, a man she'd known for all of 5 minutes. As they posed for photos, she whispered, "I hope you know what you're getting into." Michael's warm laugh surprised her. "Life's an adventure, right? Might as well make it an interesting one." Their honeymoon, a luxurious trip to Bali, was a strange mix of getting to know each other and awkwardly navigating their new relationship under the constant gaze of cameras. Sarah discovered Michael's passion for helping children, his terrible cooking skills, and his endearing habit of humming while he worked. Back in New York, they moved into a swanky apartment provided by the show. Sarah tried to maintain her busy work life while adjusting to married life. Michael, ever patient, made efforts to connect, leaving sweet notes in her laptop bag and surprising her with takeout from her favorite restaurants. As weeks passed, Sarah found herself looking forward to coming home. Michael's warmth was melting her cynical exterior. One night, over a failed attempt at homemade pasta, they laughed until tears streamed down their faces. Sarah realized she hadn't laughed like that in years. But just as she was starting to believe in the possibility of their unconventional romance, Sarah overheard a late-night phone call that made her blood run cold. Michael's hushed voice carried through the apartment. I know. It's complicated. But I promise, I haven't forgotten our plan." Sarah's heart raced. What plan? And who was on the other end of that call? Sarah's mind raced with possibilities. Was Michael playing her? Was this whole marriage a setup? She spent the next few days watching him closely, searching for clues. One afternoon, while Michael was at work, Sarah couldn't resist the urge to snoop. She found his laptop open on the kitchen counter and, heart-pounding, clicked on his email. What she discovered made her gasp. There were dozens of emails between Michael and a woman named Olivia. They discussed the plan in vague terms, but it was clear they knew each other well. Too well. Just as Sarah was about to dig deeper, she heard the front door open. Panicking, she closed the laptop and pretended to be making coffee. Michael walked in, his face lighting up when he saw her. "Hey, beautiful. How about we go out tonight? I've got a surprise for you." Sarah plastered on a smile, her insides churning. "Sounds great," she lied. That evening, Michael took her to a beautiful rooftop restaurant. As they sat down, he reached across the table and took her hand. "Sarah, these past few months have been incredible. I know we started this as a bet, but I think I'm falling in love with you." Sarah's heart constricted. His words seemed genuine, his eyes sincere, but the emails, the phone call, what was real and what was an act? As she opened her mouth to respond, a familiar face caught her eye at the bar. It was Olivia, watching them intently. Sarah's world tilted on its axis. The game had changed, and she was no longer sure of the rules. Sarah's mind raced. She excused herself, heading to the restroom to gather her thoughts. Michael looked concerned but didn't push. In the mirror, Sarah stared at her reflection, torn between confronting Michael about Olivia and playing along to uncover the truth. She chose the latter, determined to beat them at their own game. Returning to the table, Sarah donned her best poker face. "Sorry, just felt a bit dizzy." "Must be the champagne," she lied smoothly. Michael's brow furrowed with concern. "Are you sure you're okay? We can go home if you'd like." No, I'm fine now." "Tell me more about this surprise," Sarah deflected, all while keeping Olivia in her peripheral vision. As Michael launched into a story about planning a weekend getaway, Sarah's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "Meet me in the ladies' room. Now." "Oh." Sarah excused herself again, her heart pounding. In the restroom, she found Olivia leaning against the sink, arms crossed. "So, you're the famous Sarah," Olivia said, her tone unreadable. Sarah squared her shoulders. "And you're the mysterious Olivia. Care to explain what's going on?" Olivia sighed. "It's complicated. Michael isn't who you think he is." "And who is he?" Sarah challenged. "He's my brother," Olivia revealed. "And we're both undercover agents investigating the show's producer for fraud and money laundering." Sarah's mind reeled. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because we need your help," Olivia said. "The producer is on to us. If we don't act fast, you'll lose your $1 million, and we'll blow years of investigation." Sarah's world tilted again. Could she trust Olivia? Was this another layer of deception? As she weighed her options, she realized her bet had turned into something far more dangerous and thrilling than she ever imagined. Sarah returned to the table, her mind spinning. Michael's warm smile now seemed laden with secrets. She played along, laughing at his jokes and holding his hand across the table, all while her inner turmoil raged. Over the next few days, Sarah found herself in a precarious balancing act. She maintained her loving wife facade for the cameras while secretly meeting with Olivia to learn more about the investigation. The producer, a man named Victor Crane, had been using the show to launder money from various illegal operations. During one clandestine meeting, Olivia handed Sarah a USB drive. "We need you to plant this in Crane's office computer. It'll give us access to his financial records." Sarah's hands shook as she took the drive. "And Michael? Does he know I'm involved now?" Olivia's expression softened. "No, he wanted to keep you out of it. He really cares for you, Sarah. This isn't just an act for him anymore." These words haunted Sarah as she lay next to Michael that night, listening to his steady breathing. She found herself studying his face, wondering how much of their relationship was real and how much was part of his cover. One evening, as they cooked dinner together, Michael suddenly turned to her, his eyes intense. "Sarah, I need to tell you something important." Sarah's heart raced. Was he finally going to reveal the truth? But before Michael could continue, their doorbell rang. It was Victor Crane, smiling coldly. "Hope I'm not interrupting. We need to talk about the future of your arrangement." Victor Crane's unexpected visit sent shockwaves through the apartment. Sarah and Michael exchanged a quick, meaningful glance before inviting him in. "I hope you don't mind me dropping by unannounced," Crane said, his smile not quite reaching his eyes. "I thought we should discuss some changes to the show's format." As they settled in the living room, Sarah noticed Michael subtly positioning himself between her and Crane. The tension in the room was palpable. Crane's eyes darted around the apartment. "You two seem to be settling in nicely. Tell me, how's married life treating you?" "It's been an adventure," Sarah replied carefully. "We're learning new things about each other every day." Crane nodded, his gaze lingering on a family photo of Michael and Olivia that Sarah had insisted on displaying. "Family is important, isn't it? Speaking of which, Michael, I met your sister the other day." "Olivia, was it? Charming woman." Michael's jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. "Oh, I didn't know you two had met." "Oh, yes," Crane said, his tone casual but his eyes sharp. "She seemed very interested in the show's production. Almost investigative, you might say." Sarah's heart raced. Crane was onto them. She needed to act fast. "Actually, Mr. Crane," Sarah interjected, "I've been meaning to talk to you about some ideas for the show. Perhaps I could stop by your office tomorrow?" Crane's eyes narrowed slightly before his face relaxed into a smile. "What a wonderful idea, Sarah. Let's say 2 p.m. As Crane left, Sarah and Michael shared a look of understanding. The game had just become far more dangerous. The next morning, Sarah prepared for her meeting with Crane, the USB drive burning a hole in her pocket. Michael caught her arm as she was leaving. "Sarah, wait," he said, his eyes filled with concern. "I can't let you do this. It's too dangerous." For a moment, Sarah saw past the undercover agent to the man she'd grown to care for. "Michael, I have to. We're in this together now." He pulled her close, their foreheads touching. "I never meant for you to get involved. This whole thing, it started as a mission, but somewhere along the way, it became real for me." Sarah's heart raced, torn between her growing feelings and the lingering doubt. "Then be honest with me. Tell me everything." Michael took a deep breath and began to explain. The investigation had been going on for years. Crane's network was vast, involving not just money laundering, but human trafficking as well. The reality show was just a front for his operations. "And us?" Sarah asked, her voice barely a whisper. Michael cupped her face gently. "That's the one thing in this mess that's absolutely real." As they embraced, Sarah's phone buzzed. A text from Olivia. "Crane knows. Get out now." Panic set in as they heard heavy footsteps in the hallway. Michael grabbed Sarah's hand. "We need to go. Now." They rushed to the fire escape, adrenaline pumping. As they climbed down, Sarah realized their lives would never be the same. The bet that started it all seemed trivial now. They were fugitives, partners, and maybe, just maybe, a real couple facing an uncertain future together. Sarah and Michael raced through the busy New York streets, ducking into alleys and blending with crowds. They finally found temporary refuge in a small cafe. "What's our next move?" Sarah asked, her voice low and urgent. Michael ran a hand through his hair, clearly stressed. "We need to get that evidence to the FBI, but Crane's men will be watching all the usual channels." Sarah's mind raced. Then an idea struck her. "The show. We can use it to our advantage." Michael looked puzzled. "What do you mean?" "Think about it. Millions of people watch us every week. If we can somehow broadcast the truth during a live episode, Crane won't be able to stop it in time." A slow smile spread across Michael's face. "That's brilliant, but incredibly risky. Are you sure you want to do this?" Sarah nodded firmly. "I'm all in." They spent the next few hours planning their move. They would return to their apartment for the scheduled filming of their romantic dinner. But instead of following the script, they'd expose Crane's operation to the world. As evening approached, they cautiously made their way back home. The production crew was already setting up, unaware of the drama about to unfold. Sarah and Michael exchanged a look of determination as they stepped into their apartment. The cameras started rolling, capturing their entrance. "Welcome home, darling," Michael said, loud enough for the microphones to pick up. Sarah smiled, her heart pounding. "It's good to be home, but you know what they say. Home is where the truth is." The stage was set. It was time for the final act. The cameras rolled as Sarah and Michael sat down for their romantic dinner. The air crackled with tension, unnoticed by the oblivious crew. "So, darling," Michael began, his voice steady despite the stakes, "how about we play a little game for our viewers? Let's call it Truth or Consequences." Sarah's eyes locked with his. "Sounds intriguing. You go first." Michael took a deep breath. "All right. The truth is, this entire show is a fraud." The crew exchanged confused glances, but the cameras kept rolling. Sarah leaned in. "Oh, do tell more." "Victor Crane, the producer of this show, has been using it as a front for money laundering and human trafficking," Michael continued, his voice growing stronger. Suddenly, the door burst open. Crane stormed in, flanked by two burly security guards. Cut the cameras now." But Sarah was quicker. She pulled out her phone and started live streaming to the show's social media accounts. "America, you're watching this live. Everything Michael said is true. We have proof." Chaos erupted in the small apartment. Crew members scrambled, unsure whether to follow Crane's orders or keep filming this unexpected turn in events. Crane lunged for Sarah's phone, but Michael intercepted him, grappling him to the ground. "Sarah, run. Get the evidence to the FBI." Sarah hesitated for a split second, torn between helping Michael and completing the mission. Then she bolted for the door, phone still streaming, the USB drive secure in her pocket. She raced down the stairs, Crane's security hot on her heels. Her heart pounded as she burst out onto the street, scanning desperately for a safe haven. Suddenly, a car screeched to a halt beside her. The window rolled down, revealing Olivia. "Get in." Sarah dove into the car, which sped off immediately. "Michael's still up there," she gasped. "Don't worry," Olivia assured her. "FBI agents are already on their way. We've got enough viewers watching the live stream that Crane can't possibly cover this up." As they raced through the city, Sarah's phone buzzed with notifications. The live stream had gone viral. #BetOnTruth trending nationwide. Sirens wailed in the distance, growing closer to their apartment. Sarah's heart raced, hoping Michael was safe, realizing that their fake marriage had turned into a very real partnership, one that might just bring down a criminal empire. Olivia's car screeched to a halt outside the FBI field office. Sarah's hand shook as she handed over the USB drive, her statement a blur of words and adrenaline. All the while, her mind was with Michael, hoping he was safe. Hours passed in a whirlwind of questioning and evidence processing. Finally, an agent approached Sarah. "Ms. Thompson, we've made multiple arrests, including Victor Crane. Your husband is safe and on his way here." Relief washed over Sarah, quickly followed by a new anxiety. What would happen to them now? Their marriage, built on a bet and a lie, had become something real amidst the chaos and danger. The door opened, and Michael walked in, looking battered but alive. Their eyes met, and without a word, they rushed into each other's arms. "I thought I'd lost you," Sarah whispered, her voice breaking. Michael pulled back, cupping her face. "Never. We're in this together, remember?" An FBI agent cleared his throat, interrupting their moment. "Mr. Chun, Ms. Thompson, we need to discuss your situation." They sat down, hands intertwined, as the agent explained. "Your actions have exposed a major criminal operation. However, the nature of your marriage and the show raises some legal questions." Sarah's heart sank. Would they nullify their marriage? Force them apart? The agent continued. "Given the circumstances, we're offering you a choice. We can annul the marriage, citing fraud, and you can go your separate ways with the $1 million split between you for your service." Michael squeezed Sarah's hand. She took a deep breath before asking, "And the other option?" "Or," the agent said, a hint of a smile on his face, "you can choose to stay married. The money would go to a victims fund for those affected by Crane's operations. Your marriage would be legal and binding." Sarah and Michael looked at each other, 1,000 unspoken words passing between them. "Can we have a moment?" Michael asked. Once alone, Michael took both of Sarah's hands in his. "Sarah, these past months have been crazy, dangerous, and absolutely the best of my life. I know we started this as a bet, as a mission, but somewhere along the way, I fell in love with you. Real, true love. So, what do you say? Want to take another bet on us?" Sarah's eyes filled with tears, a smile breaking across her face. "I do. I absolutely do." As they sealed their decision with a kiss, Sarah realized that sometimes the biggest risks bring the greatest rewards. Their $1 million bet had paid off in a way neither of them could have ever imagined. 1 year later, Sarah and Michael stood hand in hand on the same rooftop where their adventure had taken its first dramatic turn. The city lights twinkled below, a testament to the life they'd built together. "Can you believe it's been a year?" Sarah mused, leaning into Michael's embrace. He chuckled, pressing a kiss to her temple. "Sometimes it feels like yesterday, other times like a lifetime ago." Their lives had changed dramatically since that fateful day. The exposure of Crane's criminal empire had made headlines for weeks. Sarah and Michael had become unlikely heroes, their story captivating the nation. They'd used their newfound platform to advocate for victims of human trafficking, starting a foundation with the money they would have won from the bet. Their marriage, born from an outrageous wager, had blossomed into a partnership built on trust, respect, and love. "You know," Sarah said, turning to face Michael, "I never thought I'd say this, but I'm glad I made that crazy bet." Michael grinned, pulling her closer. "Me too. It turns out, sometimes the biggest gambles have the best payoffs." As they shared a kiss under the starlit sky, Sarah reflected on their journey. From strangers to spouses, from a fake reality show to a very real love story, they had beaten the odds. Their bet had paid off in ways neither of them could have ever imagined. Their story was a testament to the fact that love can bloom in the most unexpected places, and that sometimes the greatest risks bring the most beautiful rewards. And there you have it, folks. The incredible true story of how a $1 million bet turned into a life-changing adventure. We hope you enjoyed this roller coaster ride of love, danger, and unexpected twists. Now, we'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our exciting content. We're curious. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this story? Drop your rating in the comments below and let us know what you thought. Also, we'd love to know where in the world you're watching from. Are you tucked away in a cozy apartment in New York like Sarah and Michael? Or perhaps you're on the other side of the globe. Share your location in the comments. Remember, sometimes the greatest stories come from taking risks and opening your heart to new possibilities. Who knows? Your own $1 million love story might be just around the corner. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.